treat me like a fool.
Hey kiddies, it's Terrible Triple Feature time once again, and I'm at the ancestral home, so this is going to be a quickie. This week we're going to look at movies which feature main characters that think they're Elvis. Our menu includes Top Secret / True Romance, Wild at Heart, and Bubba Ho-Tep. Now Val Kilmer is a very, very cool individual, or at least he was before he turned into the guy that ate Val Kilmer. Miss him so much, and I went on at length about him a couple months ago with 4 different Val Kilmer themed triple features. But his first movie was the Zucker Abrams Zucker movie Top Secret, which parodied both old musical movies like Elvis's movies and old war movies, with Val Kilmer playing Nick Rivers, our Elvis counterpart, who is a plucky young pop singer who is the only one that can save the world from the oppressive Eastern German, reign. This was in the 80s, so they didn't really do Nazis so much as just Eastern Europe socialism jerky faces. Nick has a couple different songs that parody Elvis songs. Like I think he has a Macy's parody of Are You Lonesome Tonight, and just a lot of the stuff he does is in the vein of Elvis, and this culminates in his borderline cameo appearance in Tony Scott's True Romance. This was the first script that Quentin Tarantino sold after Reservoir Dogs became a hit, but he didn't actually direct it. Christian Slater stars in it as something of a Quentin Tarantino surrogate. He loves comic books, kung fu movies, and Elvis. He loves Elvis so much that he sees Elvis in his mind, talking to him, a la John Wayne in Preacher, the great comic book by Garth Ennis. Elvis is played by Val Kilmer. And they never actually call him Elvis. He's credited as the mentor, so he wouldn't, they wouldn't get into any sort of legal trouble with the Elvis Presley family. But he is totally straight up Elvis. He is humming Elvis songs throughout both of his little sequences, and with the shady focus on him, it looks really, really good, and it's just fun because Christian Slater's so crazy. You're never quite sure if he's just, imagining it, or if he straight up thinks Elvis talks to him. But either way, Val Kilmer was Elvis. But he wasn't Elvis like Nicolas Cage's Elvis. Now, in David Lynch's Wild at Heart, which is nominally a road movie by David Lynch, and with all of the David Lynchiness that entails, which includes, just hideous face makeup, Grace Zabriskie being crazy, Jack Nance also being crazy, Willem Dafoe mind-raping Laura Dern with his, just odd way of speaking and really gross teeth, Harry Dean Stanton, and Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage plays Sailor Ripley, our main character, and for reasons that are never explained, he's doing an Elvis impression through the whole movie. Probably because Nicolas Cage wants to be Elvis, or he wants to be Sailor Ripley. Sailor will repeatedly mention his snakeskin jacket and how it's a symbol for him of his belief in individuality and personal freedoms. It's Nicolas Cage's snakeskin jacket. And the Elvis love gets taken up a notch when Nick Cage sings not one but 2 different Elvis songs, just full out, unironically, just singing them. It's really crazy. Even for David Lynch, because you got all the David Lynchiness, and then for some reason we add in Crispin Glover playing around with cockroaches, and a lot more Wizard of Oz imagery than you'd think should ever be in a David Lynch movie. But that didn't really stop Nicolas Cage in his personal life, continuing with wanting to be Elvis, as he left the just gorgeous Patricia Arquette for Lisa Marie. Yeah. He married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of the king that he loved so much. Nicolas Cage is weird. Finally, we have the, we'll go with eccentric but comparatively straightforward film of Bubba Ho-Tep. Written and directed by Don Phantasm Coscarelli, based on a short story by Joe R. Lansdale. Let me tell you, people, if you see only one Elvis in a retirement home teamed up with Black JFK versus a redneck mummy movie in your life? This is the movie to see. Bruce Campbell plays Sebastian Haff, who may or may not be Elvis. According to Sebastian, he was Elvis, and he got bored with the fame and the life, and decided to switch places with the greatest Elvis impersonator ever, Sebastian Haff, and lead a more simpler life. Unfortunately, all the documentation that would prove he is the actual Elvis was destroyed, and now he's living in a shitty retirement home in West Texas. And unfortunately, there's a mummy who is going around sucking the souls of the other retirement home residents out of their butts. Did I mention he's a redneck mummy? And thrown into the mix is a really wonderful performance by Ossie Davis, who claims that he is the former President John F. Kennedy, who was somehow saved after he got shot in the head. They replaced the missing part of his brain with a bag of sand, dyed him black, and, left him in Texas. And they're the only hope the other retirement home residents have to save them from the mummy. I got to tell you, this is a great triple feature. So, people who think and or may be Elvis, Val Kilmer in Top Secret and or True Romance, Nicolas Cage in Wild at Heart and Real Life, and Bruce Campbell in Bubba Ho-Tep. So that'll do it for this week, and I'll see you next time.